All right, so get this. You know that stack of articles about Americans looking to move abroad after the election?
Yeah, wild, right?
Well, we dove into the data from Visa Guide. World, it's a site that tracks searches and visa applications, and things are getting a little crazy.
Yeah, it's not just talk this time. The data is showing us what people are actually thinking about doing.
For real. Visa Guide World found a 1,514% surge in Google searches about leaving the U.S. right after the election results came out.
1514.
Yeah, it's like everyone just decided, that's it, I'm out of here.
Well, historically, yeah, we do see these kinds of jumps after big political events, but I mean, this is on another level.
Totally. So where is everyone even thinking about going? Visa Guide World made this list, and there seem to be two main groups.
Oh, this is the good stuff. Tell me more.
Okay, so first, there are the familiar faces, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, Australia, places you don't have to worry about the language too much.
Right, places that feel kind of familiar, not a total culture shock.
Exactly. And then there's the European adventure group. We're talking Ireland, Switzerland, Spain, Portugal, even Germany and the Netherlands. This group seems to want to just dive into a totally different way of life.
Yeah, when you think about those places, it's not hard to see why. A lot of them have a really high quality of life, strong social safety nets.
Yeah.
Things that might be appealing if you're feeling a bit unsure about things here.
Totally. And we can't forget about a few other places like Costa Rica and Mexico. Sun, sand, maybe a margarita or two.
Yeah, those destinations definitely offer a change of pace, a more laid-back vibe, and maybe a little more affordable, too.
For sure. So we've got our potential destinations. Now let's look at some specifics. Imagine moving to Costa Rica on Google. Well, searches for that jumped by 302%.
Pura vida, right. Costa Rica has that chill atmosphere, beautiful nature. I can see why someone might want to escape the everyday grind.
And then there's Norway. Searches for moving to Norway went up by 437%. Could it be those incredible fjords and that Scandinavian way of life?
Maybe. Or maybe it's about more than just pretty scenery. Norway's got that strong social safety net, a very progressive political scene. Things that might resonate with people who are feeling a bit uncertain about what's next.
Okay, this one really surprised me. Ireland saw a 355% increase in searches. I mean, yeah, rolling green hills, those charming pubs, but that big of a jump.
Ireland has a lot going for it. English speaking, a booming tech scene, and it's part of the EU. It's a really solid choice for someone wanting a big change, but not sacrificing job opportunities or the ability to easily travel.
All right, now let's talk about a place a little closer to home, the UK, with a 375% increase in searches. I mean, the same language, so much shared history.
Yeah.
You could practically hop on a plane and fit right in.
For sure. The UK is still a major global hub, even after Brexit. It's familiar territory, which can be comforting when making a huge move like that.
So while this election might be the thing that's making people think about this, we have to go a little deeper, right? There are probably way more reasons behind this whole relocation trend.
Oh, absolutely. Job opportunities, cost of living, lifestyle, even just personal ties. It's rarely just one thing that makes someone decide to pick up their life and start over somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here.
Exactly. There's a whole lot going on beneath the surface that we need to understand to really grasp what's driving this relocation surge.
Well, speaking of uncovering things, let's look at some of the keywords that stood out. Remember that search, moving to New Zealand?
Oh, yeah.
It spiked by a crazy 7,600%.
7,600. Wow. Whatever's causing that has got to be pretty powerful.
It's like everyone saw New Zealand and was like, yep, that's the one, that's where I need to be.
New Zealand has been getting a lot of attention lately. They have this image of being a safe haven, a place with amazing nature, and a forward-thinking government.
And then there's moving to Germany. Searches for that went up by a whopping 4,200%. Are people suddenly craving sauerkraut and Oktoberfest?
Maybe, but probably not. Germany is a huge economic powerhouse, that's for sure. But it also has this rich culture and history. Maybe people are looking for a sense of stability and opportunity that they're not finding here.
It makes you wonder what it is about life in Germany that's speaking to people right now.
Totally. These keywords give us some interesting clues, but we need to dig deeper to really get what's driving this desire for change.
So we've got all these numbers, we've seen where people are thinking of going, but what's the real story here? What's making people want to just pick up and move?
And we've got this giant puzzle, and all these keywords are like little pieces we're trying to fit together.
Right.
Each one gives us a peek into what people are worried about, what they're hoping for.
Okay, so take the term how to move to Europe. That one shot up by 1,566%. That's not about one country, it's a whole continent.
Exactly. That says something about wanting a really big change, a break from what's familiar. Maybe some people are feeling disillusioned with how things are going.
Like they're saying, I need a whole new start. But it's not just about getting away from something, right? There's something drawing them to these places, too.
Oh, absolutely. Many of these countries are known for having really progressive policies. Their focus on social welfare, things like that. And of course, environmental sustainability.
So it's about finding a place that matches their values, somewhere they feel like they belong, like they can actually picture a good future.
Exactly. A society that reflects their ideals, where they can not only survive, but really thrive.
And we can't forget the practical stuff. We saw English-speaking countries jump by 1,328%. For a lot of people, language is a big deal, maybe even a deal breaker.
Yeah, language can make or break your experience living in another country. It affects everything.
Yeah.
From finding a job, to making friends, to just feeling at home in a new place.
Right. It's not just about understanding what people are saying. It's about understanding the culture, too, the humor, all those little things that make a place feel welcoming.
For sure. It's about feeling connected, like you can really be a part of the new society.
Now, we've been talking a lot about politics and values and all that, but there's also the whole economic side of things. A lot of these countries have really strong job markets, especially in fields like tech or healthcare. Oh, and renewable energy.
Yeah. Having economic opportunity is a huge motivator.
Yeah.
People want stability. They want to be able to take care of themselves and their families. They want to feel good about their future.
And let's not forget about lifestyle. A lot of these places offer a different pace of life, a better work-life balance, more access to nature. It's not just about earning a living, it's about living well.
Quality of life is becoming more and more important to people. People are putting their well-being first. They're looking for places that make them feel good, not just places where they can make a lot of money.
It's about finding that sweet spot, balancing pursuing your dreams with having a good life outside of work.
Yeah, it's about realizing there's more to life than just working all the time. It's about finding joy in the everyday, being in nature, spending time with people you care about.
So we're seeing all these things come together. People feeling disillusioned with politics, wanting better economic opportunities, wanting a certain lifestyle, and this desire for a future that's more fair and sustainable.
It's this whole mix of motivations, and every person probably has their own unique reasons for wanting such a big change.
But when we step back and look at the bigger picture, what does all this interest in moving tell us about what's happening in America?
It might be showing us that more and more people are feeling uneasy, like something isn't quite right. It could mean there's a growing gap between the people who feel supported by the system and those who feel like they're being left behind.
It's kind of a wake-up call, Like, we need to have some real conversations about the kind of society we want to have, what's important to us, and what kind of future we're making for ourselves and the next generation.
Exactly. It's a chance to really listen to people who are unhappy, to fix the problems that are making people feel this way.
It's about realizing that we're all in this together. We need to build a society that works for everybody, not just some people.
Right. It's about creating unity, understanding each other, working together to build a better future for everyone.
Speaking of a better future, let's get back to those specific countries for a minute. Remember New Zealand? That 7,600% jump in searches. What is it about New Zealand that's gotten everyone so interested?
New Zealand has this image of being almost like a utopia, a place where nature and well-being are the most important things. It's seen as a politically stable and socially progressive country, which might be especially appealing right now, with all the uncertainty.
And then there's Ireland. Searches for moving to Ireland went up by 2,400%. What's the appeal of the Emerald Isle?
Ireland has such a rich history and vibrant culture and a certain charm, It's hard to resist. It's also a country that's really changed a lot economically and socially in the past few years, so it's a dynamic and attractive place to be.
And let's not forget about Portugal. Searches for moving to Portugal went up by 1,100%. What's going on there?
Portugal has this relaxed lifestyle, a warm climate, and it's relatively affordable to live there. It's already a pretty popular spot for expats and retirees, and it seems like it's only getting more popular.
So all these keywords really show us what people are looking for. Peace, stability, a sense of belonging, a place where they can be themselves and feel connected to their community.
It's about finding a place that matches their values, their hopes, their vision for a better life.
It's about that human need to find a place where we can truly belong, where we can thrive, a place that feels like home.
Well said. It really shows the power of hope in the human spirit. Our ability to adapt and change and start over.
And as we keep trying to figure things out in our world, these stories of people wanting a different path remind us that change is always possible.
Definitely. It reminds us that we can create our own future, that we can make a world that reflects what we truly want.
Well, we've dug into all this data, explored why people are doing this, and thought about what it all means. But before we finish up, I want to leave you with something to think about. If you were thinking about moving to another country, what would be the most important things to you? What kind of place would you be looking for? Wow, yeah. That really gets you thinking, huh? About what's important, what kind of life you want, and where you could actually see yourself living that life.
It's a huge decision, no doubt. It's all about, matching where you live with what you believe in, finding that place where you can really be yourself.
It's interesting. We've been talking about these faraway places, like making a big change and moving to a different country. But maybe the answer isn't always about packing your bags and going somewhere totally new.
Right. Sometimes it's about looking right where you are, finding something new in your own town, or even just changing how you see the place you're already in.
It's like that saying, wherever you go, there you are. Sometimes the journey isn't so much about actually moving, but about changing how you think and feel about things.
Exactly. It's figuring out what makes you feel alive, what brings you joy, what kind of mark you want to leave on the world, and then figuring out how to make that happen no matter where you are.
So whether you're dreaming of a whole new life in another country or just looking at where you live with fresh eyes, I think the big takeaway is that sense of exploration, that willingness to try new things and see what else is possible.
Couldn't agree more. Be curious, be open to new things, and trust that you'll find your way.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. We started with these crazy stats and ended up talking about some pretty big questions about what people are looking for in life.
It's been quite a ride. And it's amazing how just looking at what people are searching for online can tell us so much about what it means to be human. It really is. To everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this exploration of relocation trends. We hope this has gotten you thinking about some new possibilities, maybe even inspired you to do a little soul searching of your own.
And remember, wherever you go in life, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep diving deep.